Do you see ghosts, Peter?
Not anymore. Maybe I did as a kid, but
Yeah.
it hasn't happened since.
I've
Um,
heard of like a lot of instances of that happening. Not like with personal people I know, but like with kids seeing family
right,
members or something.
right, and and you almost have to kind of believe that it's at least in most part an overactive imagination.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, not to get too hippie, but like, who knows? You
Who
know,
fucking knows?
if
I
something
don't.
about being a child and having that childlike curiosity kind of opens you up to other things that are out there.
Maybe you're maybe you're more in the flow state as a child. Maybe you're in the akasha more and channeling in more more things
Yeah, I need you to
like
explain
spirits and
those
shit.
words because I don't understand any
Oh,
of
that's
it.
gonna take a while. I also don't know enough about it to get into it.
Oh, okay, we'll save it.
But well, eh, I guess I could talk a little bit on it if you really want, Peter. If you're really like trying to get me to talk about
Oh,
it,
I'm insisting for sure.
it's like what my dad's into. Apparently, the Akashic records are basically this spiritual database where everything that has been done or will be done or has existed or will exist is just in this database. So like everything, pretty much everything like in our universe exists already. Every idea, everything, every physical object, every thought, it exists, but all it just has to be like channeled into like existence or into reality through like a human, I guess. And you like typically get to that by like being in a flow state or like by um meditating or like a bunch of different modalities that can bring on that state where you can like channel through to like this database.
So like basically, um, like you said, everything that like will happen in your life or has happened is like already kind of like out there in the universe somewhere. It's just whether or not you can like tap into it.
Yeah, which I think honestly, I don't know, that doesn't sound too absurd to me. Like if you I mean if you think of like conservation of mass and matter and like why wouldn't there be the same thing for like ideas and
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've definitely thought about this before. Like predestination, the idea of, um, everything kind of being deterministic because everything at least I believe everything in the world is cause and effect, right? Like nothing
Mhm.
happens um, completely randomly. Like there's always some reason or motivation for something that happens. Um,
Right.
like it's kind of like the free will conundrum, right? Like if we truly do have free will to do like whatever we want, then we would be able to do something random, right?
Right.
But is there any action we can actually take that doesn't have a reason behind it? You know what I mean?
Because then if you're doing something random, is that part of your like non-free will path to do that thing that you think is random, but it's actually part of that path that
Right,
is
right.
determined?
Exactly, right. Like if I like for example, like if I were to just go off like take all the cash I have on hand and just like light it on fire, like in a vacuum that'd be pretty random, right? But
Mhm.
if my motivation is to do something random like that, then that's my reason. That was motivated by something. It's not something that's purely random, like because
Right.
I intended to do that. Um, so if we're bound to this cycle of like cause and effect and everything has a purpose and a reason behind it, then I mean, then everything we are going to do and everything we've done, there's always a reason behind it. There's always a cause and effect. So, I mean, that could be traced all the way back to, in an extreme case, you could trace that all the way back to the creation of the universe. And from there, it's like, uh, did we really have any real agency or free will in terms of how our lives turned out or how they're going to turn out? I mean, you know, there's definitely a science to the way things work, to the way our lives play out. So who's to say
Right.
that there isn't a science or mathematics that can determine how our lives are going to play out in the future, in that
Right.
kind of sense.
I feel like a lot of people tie like free will and like the absence of free will. I feel like a lot of people associate that with like negativity. But I mean, like, even if there is like free will or isn't, I don't think there should be like any connotation tied to either of them. Like, you're still experiencing life, whether it's like paved out or it's at your own choices, you know?
Right, right. And
I don't think it's a bad thing if there is no free will.
yeah, and I think like more importantly, I don't even think we would really notice if we didn't have free will.
Mhm.
Just because like the factors that go into how our lives play out. I mean, there's a countless number of factors that go into it. You know what I mean? Like, um, I'm trying to think of an example, but no, nothing's really coming to mind. But like, think about all the factors that went into um you choosing engineering as a major, right?
Right.
Like, so many things had to come together for
Mhm.
for you to actually make that decision. And
Yeah.
um for example, like I had to learn that I liked math and that I enjoyed science, and I had to take those classes simultaneously to find the overlap and discover that I actually enjoy those concepts. And even external factors like my teachers telling me that, like, is suggesting that engineering might be a good path. Um,
And just also like growing up in an area that has a school system, you know, you could have been born in another country in the middle of the woods or something, in a
uh,
jungle. Like there's so much that
Right, right, exactly. And it's like even though all of these things or a lot of these things are out of our control, especially the situation that you're born into, even though they're all out of your control, I mean there's just the sheer volume of those factors, like the fact that there's so many of them. I mean, you can't really gather them all up and calculate for yourself what's going to happen in your life next. So, I
right,
mean, you know, even if you knew that you didn't have free will from that standpoint, you still wouldn't be able to predict what's going to happen to you just because it's not within our means to calculate. So even if you believe that you don't have free will, I don't really think you would feel the effects of it, or I don't think you would feel trapped in that way.
right. But I don't know, just the sheer amount of things that had to happen to get to that point is kind of, whether you have free will or not, it is kind of amazing and kind of beautiful, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but like I totally agree. Where like I personally I kind of don't think there's free will because like I don't know, going through engineering school and shit, like everything is pretty much a system, whether it be like a biological system or whether it be a mechanical system. Like everything is bound to some law of rules and has to operate within those rules, and a lot of those rules can normally be like calculated or can be recorded and
Oh
figured
wait,
out.
hang on. Give me 1 second.
Oh, Peter, I was on a fucking roll, dude. I
Yeah,
was about
I
to
know,
say
I know you were. I know you
some
were.
deep shit.
Wait, hang on. I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like we were. I feel like we were in a flow there.
No, you're good.
You're good.
No, but yeah, I was just basically saying like I don't know. Everything's pretty much a system, whether it be biological or a mechanical system or an electrical system. Everything, for the most part, operates by some sort of trends or principles, and like based on how they have been operating, you can predict how they will operate. And all like life is a bunch of these like different systems just clashing with each other.
Yeah.
But like the problem is that they get so fucking complicated that you literally can't predict. But like still, I feel like if you spent enough time and like really got into it, you could probably build some sort of model that like predicted something, but it would be insane and so time consuming.
Right. You'd probably
But
spend your whole life trying to do just that. Um.
yeah, shout out to Never Ending Math Equation by Modest Mouse. That's pretty much what that song is
Oh,
about.
really?
Yeah.
I never picked up on that. I just thought it was a dope song.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
But yeah, no,
Just
yeah,
the
that's That's exactly what I'm saying though, is that like everything, like you said, is a system, right? So and systems are just, cause and effect. It's all input output. So,
Yeah.
in a way, if you boil everything down, everything's predictable. But I mean, specifically focusing on like from like a biological standpoint, like your biological system. I mean, we don't even really have free will at that tangible of a level. Like I can't say like, okay, I don't want to eat food anymore. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I can't make that decision for myself, right? Like
Right.
my body makes that decision. Like I don't have
And then
free
also like
will.
your serotonin and like different chemicals, they're kind of going to influence like how you act and how you react to things.
Right, right. And like everyone's body chemistry and brain chemistry is going to be different. So, they're predisposed to react to the same thing different ways.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, right. Like it's, out of your control. Like, for example, like you can't just say, I don't want to sleep anymore. You can't just decide that for yourself. Like your brain
I
literally
could.
just, I mean, you,
I could try really hard.
I mean, you could try, but like
I could try
you would
really hard,
die.
Peter.
You would die if you did that.
Would I?
If you
I
just
haven't
didn't,
tried yet.
if you didn't sleep anymore?
We don't know. I haven't tried.
I mean, I'm sure other people have tried
Yeah,
and
but I
perished.
haven't, and I don't know how my personal
Oh,
body
right,
would react.
and
So
you're
maybe I can because
right,
I'm built different.
and you're different from all the other boys.
Yeah. Peter, the demographic or of person we're trying to reach right now, we're looking for um probably somebody who finds boners funny and then is also into deep philosophy and um pees their pants.
But the question is, do we offer any of that?
No. Hey, we could always throw in a deep segment. We could talk about Lisa Ann, we could talk about getting choked out, and then we could talk about philosophy.
Yeah.
Which there's this guy on Instagram who I've actually been following who has some of his videos are honestly a little cringy, but he does make some good points. I think I was explaining one to you the other day.
I do remember this. Um,
Yeah.
Something about letting go of things you can't control, which is very good advice.
Yeah. Cuz I mean he was pretty much saying like in the end, like a choice is going to lead to a chain of events that you don't know if that chain is going to end with something good or bad. So, like in the moment, you really have no idea what is the good or bad decision. So you shouldn't be like stuck up on it if you're making the right decision. You know?
Right, right, because the outcome of that decision is going to influence other decisions that you make or other things happening in your life that could be good or bad.
Yeah. So all you can do is pick what you think is the right decision in the moment, and then just let it go from there. So shout out, Andrew Murnane.
Do you want to give that a spelling?
Andrew, and then Murnane. He looks like, and I think he does a lot of psychedelics. Like in all of his videos, his eyes just look like all pupil, like just black.
There does seem to be a strong correlation between uh, dropping a heavy amount of psychedelics and being interested in, philosophy.
Yeah, seems like a good dude. He's actually I think he actually lives in the area. He just posted a video of him at like LBI, so he's
Oh,
a New
really?
Jersey, New York boy.
We should stalk LBI and see if we could catch him one day.
Dude, if we ever get big enough, let's have him on the pod. Have Andrew Murnane. That would be sick.
Yeah, I definitely would. I just we'd have to do a lot of research and make
Yeah.
sure we could
Oh, we
get
could just go in with an outline.
that. So Andrew, what do you want to talk
What? It's just like, what?
about?
You invited me.
Yeah, right. He's just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm just trying to have a nice time with my family at LBI. Like, could you please not bother me?"
Or we could have him on and we all do shrooms and we just all have a bad time. You and me just
Oh,
have a really bad trip.
yeah, he'll be fine. He'll
And he
be
ends up
in his
just taking
comfort
care of
zone.
us, wrapping
But
us in a
even
snuggie, just feeding us mac and cheese.
but even that would be probably better than what we're doing now. People would
Yeah,
probably people would probably tune into that.
that'd be content. Hey, quick word to the kids listening. Keep doing what you're doing. If you keep at it every day, you're consistent, you'll get to where we are one day. All right? You'll be as famous as us.
They should keep it up no matter what it is. Just keep it up no
Just
matter
keep
what
it
you're
up.
doing.
Even if it's a bad thing, just keep doing it. You
Yeah,
smoking rocks? Keep doing it.
yeah. Keep it up.
Keep it up,
Honestly,
kid.
that's probably how you end up like us.
All right. Peace.